Hello, everyone. Welcome back to PrettyRealPersona. I am your host, Ariana Reese, baby. Okay, so today's episode, I'm so excited to say, to announce very first off, we have reached 100 subscribers. Yay! I am so excited, guys. Oh my gosh, you guys, 100 subscribers. Who would have knew? Well, we knew because Pretty Real Persona is that shit, you know? But I'm just so excited. It's such a big accomplishment for me. We've been locked in, we've been consistent, we've been doing our biggest one. So I got my 100 sign here with us. So yeah, happy 100 subscribers. Let's get into today's episode. Let's do that. We're going to talk about letting go of the need to be strong. Being the strong one in the family is cute until you realize that you are literally the whole family's unpaid therapist. So if you resonate with that, let me know in the comments, And I'm speaking to my oldest daughters, oldest sons, speaking to y'all, speaking to anybody who feels like, they are that person that everyone goes to. So today we are going to unpack what it means to let go of always feeling the need to be strong. Let's be honest, strength looks so good on the outside, but on the inside, it can look like I haven't cried since 2014. And honestly, not crying, that is not a good thing for you to do. So you're the strong friend when people call you with their drama and you're in the parking lot crying at Target. Being a strong friend means that you are reliable, dependable, and sometimes exhausted. I kind of want to touch on today about, the strong friend syndrome, where it's like people lean on you, but you rarely let yourself lean on other people. And then it gets to a point where strength starts to feel like a cage instead of a strength, instead of a badge of honor. I think I really resonate with being the strong friend. I think in my earlier days, I didn't have good boundaries surrounding it. It's easy. Like me, I have a lot of capacity for just conversations, and I'm a natural caretaker, nurturer. So I always want to, help others. And I'm always, willing to listen. And I think just in my past, I haven't put boundaries on that. So it's I would always be a friend. I would answer your phone call at 4 a.m. You need me, 5 a.m. You need me. And now it's it's just growing up. As you grow in friendships, that becomes less realistic as something that happens. But, in your younger days, we're all really, really, really dependent on each other, Um, so it's if I get a call from my friend at 4 a.m., I know it's because something's going on type. So it's you answer that call. But before it took me a little bit. I had to kind of stop, answering the phone when I feel like I didn't want to talk, or I feel like, I just didn't have the capacity for a conversation, and just in general, whether it's anybody's drama or not. I don't really, honestly, a lot of time I don't really see my friends' stuff that they're going through as drama or an inconvenience to me. I just see it as we're human. We all go through stuff. Sometimes we just need somebody to talk to and process through something that's killing us in a moment. I think I have better boundaries on that right now. I think it's good to set boundaries, and it's you don't always feel like you have to answer the phone, or you have to, it's okay to end a conversation, or to even answer the phone and say, I don't really have a capacity for, a conversation right now. I just feel gauging, within yourself, what is your capacity right now to listen, or to be um, a strong friend or a strong family member for someone. Because it's I feel like it's okay to be strong. I don't feel like you have to always rely on your need to feel like you're strong. And one thing about me, I used to say this all the time. I used to say this all the time, and I'm glad I've adopted. But it's I don't want anybody to think I'm strong, because sometimes when people think you're strong, they think, oh, she can take whatever. And it's I don't want nobody thinking that I can just take whatever, because baby, I cannot. I cannot. Maybe back in my older days, I used to be able to take some more, but today, baby, I cannot take, I can't take, I can't take too much. Next, I want to talk about why we cling to strength. Because, being strong is cute until it turns into emotional constipation where you're holding it all in, and then eventually it blows, and then it's all bad for everybody. We cling to being strong because it feels safe. Maybe you grew up in an environment where showing emotion didn't feel safe, or maybe even being strong became your identity and your way of being seen or valued. But the problem is, you cannot heal if you're always pretending that everything's fine when it's not. I think I have a nasty habit of like always like saying I'm fine when I'm really not. Like I'm trying to get out of that myself. It's not easy. It's actually pretty hard because it's like, you know, when you're frustrated and you just like, like no matter what, you can handle it, you just kind of just brush it off like it's fine. But all of those I'm fines build up because it's you dismissing how you actually feel. When you dismiss how you actually feel, you um like I said, emotional constipation, it builds up, it builds up, it builds up, it builds up, and it blows. So for me, this is one thing. This is why I like try to, like, I'm a person with big emotions. So for me, when it's on my chest, I try to communicate it because I don't want to hold on to it. Because if I say it in that moment, then I won't hold on to it. But the things that I let go kind of just blow up, and then then it's like you get into an argument with someone and you're dumping on them in one argument. Like, to you, it's like you've been, putting aside all of these little things that you feel like this person has been doing to you, act or like treating you, but really, but to them it's like, wow, this is just one situation. Like, why they don't understand the blow up. So it's like, that's why I say, like, it's good to, like, if something's on your chest, put it on their chest. If you're feeling something, make sure that you communicate, you know. No, I just think that that's like an important thing, because it's like you don't want to just go around blowing up on people and then they don't know why. Or you don't want to, you're potentially setting yourself up to cut somebody off who does not know why you're cutting them off, you know? It's different, like, if you keep telling somebody, this is how you're making me feel, this is how you're making me feel, and then you cut them off after like so many chances of you telling them, because it's like at this point they're not respecting you or how you feel, and they don't care to respect you in the way you want to be respected, or show up for you in ways that you want them to show up for you after you've communicated it so many times. It's just good for your whole body if you're not just keeping stuff in. Like, it's not fine, and you could say it's not fine, like, it's okay to, release that need to be strong, or to feel like you have to be strong, you have to hold it in, or nobody cares. You're just so used to being the strong one. And it's like that's also a burden on you too, because when you're used to being the strong one, it's like people will naturally just, put more on you. But it's like, it's not necessarily their fault. It's like you never speak up either and say, I can't take so much. Not everybody, like, I think that's one of the biggest things as people, as humans, that we kind of lack, which is consideration for others, and like considering what someone else has to do. Sometimes you'll, come into those people who say things and ask you for things and you can't do it, and then they're mad, or like because they feel like entitled to your time. And someone who's strong, or who just wants, who is your friend, or who shows up for you, sometimes they'll just feel like they have to do something even when they don't have the energy to do it, because you're having a bad reaction to their boundaries, or and that's when people pleasing actually comes into something like that. So today I want to do a new segment called permission slip of the week. So I want to give you guys a permission slip to let yourself be human. So your permission slip today is: you're allowed to ugly cry without fixing your mascara this week. Every so often I'll drop a permission slip of the week, it'll be a reminder of how you don't have to hold it all together. So for today, it's simple. You're allowed to be soft. You're allowed to be vulnerable, and strength doesn't disappear just because you let your guard down. So next, I want to talk about how you redefine your strength, because real strength is texting "I'm not okay" instead of sending memes to cover it up. Letting go of the need to be strong doesn't mean you're weak. It means letting yourself be supported, asking for help, and actually admitting when life is heavy. Because true strength is honesty. It's about being real about where you are and not trying to put on a performing that you're fine, you're perfect. And I definitely know that like it's easier said than done. It's definitely like things you have to do to constantly practice, not feeling like you have to be strong, and vulnerability plays a huge role in it, where it's like it takes a lot of admitting like where you're at and what you're feeling and saying it out loud, telling people, and just like start by telling people who you feel the safest with, and start practicing it with them, and then it's like um, it'll become easier to say to like people who you don't always feel comfortable in those moments where it's heavy and it's you need to admit it so someone can know like I can't take any more. um, and it's so important to be mindful of when that point is for you. So yeah, letting go of the need to be strong is basically retiring your role as the family superhero and clocking out. So if today's episode hit home, share this episode with your strong friend or friends. The friend that says, "I'm strong, I'm fine," but then they'll end up having eye bags under their eyes, or you could tell something's wrong with them. You could tell they're tired, or you could tell like something's going on with them. Yeah, that's the friend I'm talking about. And make sure you're following Pretty Real Persona. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. Tag us in your permission slip. Write your permission slip of the week in the comments. And maybe write down you know something that has been heavy on your mind this week, and that you are using your permission slip to let go of the need to be strong surrounding that thing, and put that in the comments, and um, tag Pretty Real Persona. Who knows, yours might end up in a future episode. I just want to take the time to really thank you guys for supporting me, showing up, and commenting. I see all of your guys' comments. I'm getting a lot more engagement from you guys, and it's been super beautiful, like just to see um, all of the beautiful things and from so many beautiful people. And that's really the reason I do this. I love hearing from you guys, and I'm so happy and grateful. Because of you guys, I was able to hit 100 subscribers, and I'm so excited for the future. And it's only up from here, baby. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Pretty Real Persona. I am your host, Ariana Reese, and baby, tap in with us next Wednesday. Y'all know where to find us. So bye. And if you guys have any questions, or if you guys like today's episode, please make sure you subscribe to Pretty Real Persona. We're on YouTube. Like us, follow us on TikTok, Instagram. We're on that. We're on those social media platforms too. And leave a comment in the comments about what you liked about today's episode. What topics you guys want me to speak on. If you want to see me add a guest, have some guests on, let me know.